So I was a 36-year-old man, but my soul was 3 years. So I remained trapped at 3 years. But now I was a man with a body, even born again now, got married, but I could not relate with my wife as husband because I had been...
Yeah, because of that trauma.
That trauma. So when that happened, my uncle was dead. And I became a different person. Those people in the occult came to my mother and say, you know what has happened to your brother? It's because we want this boy. You have to give her now officially to us. You have to surrender him to us. So she tells me, but now this one I remember it. She got me, and there is a place where this the headquarters of the occult in our nation. It's like a cave. They said it's like a cult, as if they believe in God but not God. They don't believe in the Bible. It's like a cult where politicians go and even religious leaders. So she takes me to this place. This place, like it's a cult, it's like a religion. Now, when their leaders die, they don't bury them. They embalm the bodies and pile them in a cave, the dead bodies. So she took me and handed me over to those people. Now, remember my uncle is dead. I have this pain. And now the only person I know now remaining is my mother. So she hands me over to these people who I don't know. They get me. Now, remember, I have the trauma. Just lost my uncle. Put me in a cave with dead bodies, lock it for 3 days and 3 nights without food, without water.
And how old are you at this point?
Now towards 4. It's just a few weeks from the death of my uncle.
Wow.
So now I remember the pain and the betrayal I felt as a child, that now my only mother, the one who I thought could protect me, has handed me over to these people who have now locked me in a cave with dead bodies, pitch dark, day for 3 days, hungry without food. Now, so what happened in that cave? It's the things I saw inside there those 3 days, like the spirits, Lucifer, the demons, could come and talk to me. Serpents could come into my body. All kinds of things were done on my body. So it was in being initiated into deep occultism and witchcraft, like every part of my body. Now, that's the first time I am knowing about the snake, which now my man tell me, which came at birth. I remember it came around me, coiled around me in the cave and entered my body.
Wait. Physically or spiritually?
Physically. And, all my life until I got born again, it lived in my body. I could know when it's moving. I could know, you could tell something is moving in the body. It's like now the spirit in this snake took over and now it could control me. Now, from that time on, say this, until the day I got born again, all my life I was in pain. There's no day I remember I was not in pain until the day I gave my life to Jesus for 24 years. Every day, that pain was there in my body. All because that thing had to keep me in pain in order to use me. Because if Satan controls you through pain, because it has to manipulate you to control you. So it had to keep in my body. I could not eat well. I could not live well. So the only way I could avoid pain is to be drinking. So I began drink alcohol, and I became addicted to alcohol because that's the only way I could now kill that pain. Numb the pain.
So that's a powerful thing you said. Satan controls you through pain. There's so many people that, have come into the trap of the enemy because of bitterness and all sorts of things that have happened in their past that have not been resolved through the cross and accepting Jesus. In fact, they may have accepted Jesus, but they've not allowed him to bring healing and they've not forgiven. But that's an access point for control of the enemy.
Yeah, because it controls the pain. And also, you can give your life to Jesus Christ, but you need, first of all, deliverance, and you need also healing to restore your soul. Because if you've given yourself to the enemy, the first thing he'll fragment your soul and keep all different parts of your soul in different prisons. Bitterness, anger, unforgiveness, guilt, hatred, traumas, all these. Now, each one of them is like a print on your life and now has given you a false identity and personality, which is not you. So you have the the identity and the personality of the demons that are now residing in those pits where the pain is. So I have the pain. I hate my mother and I hate everyone. I don't know my father. So the enemy, every time is to use me, is to remind me that people, humans are bad. You have to kill them. You have to do this. They are evil. They are bad. They hate you. I don't have, remember, there's no emotional attachment. Because as a child is growing up, the love you get from your parents is what now grows in you. So now, because there was not that, emotionally, I didn't have I was emotionally trapped. I didn't understand what's love, what's fear. I never cried. I never laughed.
Wow.
Because I didn't understand this. You see?
So now you go through this deep ritual. 3 days is completed. You come out. And what happens? People are worshiping you.
When I come out, what surprised me, hundreds of people are waiting for me. So they come out and they're worshiping. Like I'm like a god. They're bowing and worshiping.
And you're 4 years old.
I'm 4 years old. Wow. So I said, what's going on? Now my mother has no access to me, has no authority over me. Because now, that's when I know. Now I've been initiated and ordained as a witch. So from that time, there's a part of me that's human. I want to be a child. But then the people treat me like a power. You want to play, but no one comes next to you. First of all, no parent will allow their child to come near you. You see? 2, you are busy. People could come every day and night for help, to get powers, to get what. Then some of them are as old. One of the things that I so painful, even I remember right now and read it. It had a lot of the people as older than my mother could come and they have to undress to be naked before me, women, and then you have to give them powers. Now, if a 4-year-old you're exposed to such, that affects your life. And even today, it affected my life until Jesus healed me. You're seeing naked women and naked men. You are a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old. That affects you, the way you look at people, the way you think, the way. So what Satan does is to abuse, you see when people abuse children, people think it's just lust. Sometimes in initiation. They're initiating them. When they expose them to pornography, when they expose them to do all these things, like men who abuse children. And in my ministry, I found that many people who are struggling to be healed and delivered, it happened, their exposure was in childhood, between 1 and 6. Those were sexual abuse, those were molested by teachers, parents, siblings, and all. And it is a gate the enemy uses to trap the soul. So mine was trapped. The killing of my uncle, trauma, trapped me.
Yeah.
Then the betrayal of my mom trapped me. But then the years of being exposed to such things, like women and men come to you every day, have to undress, sit naked before you.
So at this point, where are you living? Are you just living in the forest somewhere? Are you with your mom still?
And now the home where I'm living, my father left. It's like now a hospital. It's like
oh, so at this point you go back home and lots of people are now visiting your house
because the other woman, her powers have been transferred now. So they know where they call me the baby. They call me the baby witch, where the baby witch eats. So they can come for powers, for what and what. And I would say this sometimes, I fear to say, but I would say even some people in church circles could come to pastors and bishops. Some of them could come to me for powers in their so-called ministries. And so when I got born again, the Lord, actually the Lord led me to most of them who are still alive and could say, you remember what you are doing, and you need to confess it, to repent and turn away. And many could say, I have the name, the big congregation. I can't. People will run away from me. And I tell